Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Clutch Report. We have friend of the pod Gaurav back to preview the IPL with us. How are you doing, Gaurav?
Very good. Very excited for the best tournament in the world.
And I think there's no better place to start than the defending champs, I think. Sala Cup Namde again this year?
It all depends on one person. I saw like it looks like somebody is like literally following Josh Hazelwood wherever he goes on social media. I saw a picture of him boarding the flight. Then I saw a photo of him inside a flight. And then I finally saw his photo from the official channel. So I think he's going to play a very massive role. Shiv. I think his role is very underrated, and if he's there for majority of the tournament, I don't see why Isala Cup Namde will not happen. So.
Man, Gaurav, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on board again. Firstly, obviously with RCB, do you even think my man Venkatesh Iyer plays in that starting 11?
I don't think he'll start Rohit. I think they have too much pedigree in Devdutt Padikkal and Jacob Bethel if they want to kind of change the overseas combination if Hazelwood's not there. So I don't think Venki Iyer will start, but it's a long tournament. We've seen a lot of how the teams start and how they end so many times as completely different. So I don't think he'll start, but they have good backup this time.
Yeah. Coming to that overseas combination, Bethel last year didn't get a lot of games, but after watching that semi-final performance in the World Cup, do they have a selection problem? Also, Phil Salt, maybe not in the best form.
I think Salt, David, and Romario just literally walked themselves into that 11. I don't see them doing any changes. I think it all comes down to Bethel and Duffy at this point in time. If they feel they have an Indian pacer who can kind of do something, then it works. Then Bethel might get to play. Otherwise, it's going to be mainly Duffy.
Right. Rajat Patidar, of course, he's the captain, but he's also coming in with maybe not the best form. Has it been a concern, like over the past few months, his form in domestic cricket?
So it's a good question, Shiv. So if you actually look at all the RCB players, they're all coming in a bit rusty. Kohli's not played for a while. Rajat's not played for a while. Tim David had an injury and then just had a couple of games in the World Cup. So Salt, like you said, is not in form. So your question is very valid. Whether they get up and running immediately is going to be a challenge. Without Hazelwood, the first 3-4 games is going to be difficult. That's going to be the test of how they manage. So if they can get up to like two wins out of 4 or 3 wins out of 4, they're pretty well placed. If they're like 1 in 4 or something like that, then it becomes a bit hard even if Hazelwood comes back. So sir, in IPL tournaments, I'm sure Rohit would have also kind of experienced that. In 2024 we won 5 out of the first 7 games, and that kind of plays a massive role in helping your chances to make the playoffs.
Nah, man, absolutely. I think that run also was sensational, right, Gaurav? I think we just kept smacking the ball out of the park. But I think with respect to the bowling, Gaurav, obviously, yes, they are more with controversy, and he's obviously not going to be playing the IPL. Do you think they're a little short on the Indian contingent on the bowling side of all the things?
100%, but they've got a replacement in a player called Mangesh Yadav. He's expected to do the similar role as Yash Dayal. They rate him very highly. I think again you will know it's not easy for a youngster to just come in and perform in the IPL straight away. It's not happened very often, so it's going to be tricky if Mangesh can deliver and if he's actually the guy who has that skill is able to live up to it. It helps. Otherwise, yes, they are going to be in some sort of trouble.
Yeah.
No, that's
I think
interesting,
ours.
Gaurav.
Go ahead,
Gaurav,
Rohit.
I just have one last question, Gaurav. Obviously, like, if you look at RCB's videos online on Instagram, after every auction, like during like the phase of which the IPL is starting, they put out this video saying, oh, we want to pick this person. Oh, we want to pick that person. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, you've been on the side where, there's a lot of planning and plotting going. Do you think it's cool that, in this modern era, we get to see some snippets of what goes on in the drawing board, or do you think it's just plain cockiness? Because I think Dinesh Karthik spoke about Mangesh, and then there's a video of Mangesh playing tennis ball cricket, like how I play in my flat.
So I'm sure you football freaks would enjoy the Netflix documentaries or Amazon Prime's documentary All or Nothing, right? So I'm sure we all enjoy what even cricket equivalent is the Test by Australia. So uh, see, I'm all for it, but I would like to see more. Like I would like to see even the ones where they failed picking a player or the strategy didn't work out. Either I would like to see everything or nothing. That kind of gives you a better idea. But I obviously, from a social media perspective, they may want to kind of showcase it differently. But I like that idea. I don't think many teams are doing that.
Yeah, I think for the failed signings, they can maybe use Mr. Nags, who's become the biggest social media sensation in terms of IPL. But Gaurav, we can quickly move on to your favorite team, which is CSK. Is Chetta going to bring about the revival of Chennai?
It's a very tricky team to actually evaluate. One thing I can tell you is that I think with Sam Curran not coming in as it stands, CSK have got a good trade there. And with Ruturaj confirming that he and Samson are opening, I'm all for that. That gives some kind of stability and credibility to CSK's opening pair. And if you see historically, guys, whenever CSK have done well and when they've actually won tournaments, it's been their opening pair which has done really well. Take the Ruturaj and Conways of the world, Murli Vijay and Hasis of the world, Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj. All the season winning campaigns, they had Watson and Raidu in 2018. Basically, if CSK openers do well, the top two like generally bat 6 overs, they set a platform, then everybody goes and smashes. So that's first is a great start. So I'm happy they did that. To crack is the death bowling and how they're going to kind of deploy their bowling, how they're going to get their bowling sorted is going to be key. So I'm not that concerned about batting, but bowling, not still very convinced.
Gaurav, I think also with CSK's bowling attack, Nathan Ellis is out, and I thought a lot was, lot of belief was put on that man's shoulder because he's a young man. Death bowling also was a part of the problem for CSK, but they've got Spencer Johnson, a replacement for Nathan Ellis. Do you think that's also going to hit them? Because Nathan Ellis has been great. He's been decent in the IPL, and he's obviously the only person there, apart from Khalil Ahmed, who could do that death bowling. So do you think Spencer Johnson or Matt Henry can play that role better?
I don't know better. Spencer is first of all coming only on the 23rd or 25th of April, so he's going to miss a chunk of games, and he's also injury prone. So not sure about that. Matt Henry definitely can, and again that depends on if they play Akil Hussain. He can kind of bowl in the power play, which allows Henry to bowl in the death. So yes, I definitely think Matt Henry is very good. And also you must note that the Chennai wicket has become a batting paradise. Completely, the World Cup we saw almost all the matches were scores of 180, 190. So we need to have some really good defensive skills, and I think CSK have that. I'll be very curious to see how Noor goes. If Noor can do well, it goes a long way in CSK performing.
Yeah. They also spent a lot of money in the mini auction on Karthik Sharma. I was watching, I think, Harsha Bhogle's preview, and he mentioned that he might not find a place in the team. Do you think Karthik Sharma will start?
So again, it's a good question, Shiv. So they've spent 28 crores on two guys, and Prashant will actually bowl, so he is a lock-in. Now, with the fact that Sanju and Rutu are opening, the only vacant spot at this point in time is a number 3 position. At 4, you have Brevis. At 5, you have Dubey. At 6, you have Veer. At 7, you have Dhoni. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are your 5 potential bowlers. They could skin the cat this way. At or they could play the extra batter in Karthik Sharma and then use the bowling of Veer and Dubey as your 5th and 6th. So remember, there's also Sarfraz Khan. A lot of people not talking about him. He's a bit underrated. He's a guy in form. He could come in at number 3. And all the talk about Ayush and Urvil, maybe they just sit in the bench. So they have some riches there with 4 options, if you ask me. Uh, so even like honestly, I don't know who they're going to go for unless you're literally there. You know what form they are in. It'll choose, but one of the 4 players of these 4, what I mentioned, Ayush, Urvil, Karthik, and Sarfaraz, they slot in nicely at at number 3 and just give them the freedom.
Yeah, I'm going to whisper the next question. Would you dare drop MS Dhoni if his form isn't going well?
So, well, the correct usage is impact player, right? So there is an option, which was not the case in many years previously. So now he can actually come in as an impact player if his form is not good. But I think just from a sheer wicket keeping and captaincy helping perspective, I think Dhoni is a shoe in.
Fair.
And I don't know if you guys saw, if you see the fixtures, I think he wanted to end in Chepauk or something like that. And the last fixture, if I'm right, is on 21st in Chepauk. So never know.
I thought that game was supposed to happen 3 years ago.
Definitely not.
There's no way. There's no way. Man.
Did you expect Mo Salah to leave before Dhoni?
What a question.
Yeah, Karaka.
No,
I
Gaurav,
don't think you could handle the tears of two of these players leaving in the same season.
that was hectic, man. Like, not been able to process it also properly. I think after the first game in Chandigarh, I'll process it, but some of the videos on my timeline, oof. Also, Gaurav, I must say, dude, skin the cat. What a phrase, I've been hearing it. Shiv, there's another video of Gaurav, where he says skin the cat, and I have instantly DM'd him, and I'm like, bro, what a phrase.
Can you give me let me go to hey, hi Gemini. Please give me alternate versions of Skin the Cat.
Karak loves these
No,
phrases. But
no,
Karak,
I
let's
love
go to
it, man. I
your
love
team,
it.
or should I say your new team, Mr. Punjabi aa gaye hoye. How are the vibes in the camp?
What's the song or tagline, Rohit? Bas jeetna hai. That means please just win.
No, we are just going to win.
Okay.
No, but then I think with Punjab Kings, obviously table toppers from last year, and they won 9 out of 14 last year. But I think the only concern I see is their home form, because I don't think they've played that well in Chandigarh. That's why all the good games are happening in Dharamshala. So what are your thoughts on that, Gaurav? Because obviously Mulanpur, it's a new stadium, and they won 3 out of 9 in Mulanpur. You think that's a cause for concern for Punjab Kings?
I think I recently heard some big headline that they've changed the venue operator of the venue guy of the Punjab from last year to this year. So maybe that's going to bring in some great luck at home advantage, which they will capitalize. Uh, so look, I got you guys there. You know, just thinking, what's this headline? Some serious stuff he's going to talk about.
That's the energy we like at Clutch Report. Roast Karak all you can.
But on a serious note, you're absolutely right. I think that has definitely been a challenge last year. In fact, shares higher scores in Mulanpur and outside Mulanpur is there's a big difference. I didn't actually see how many matches in Dharamshala, 3 or 2.
3.
That's why, and the 3 oppositions are Rohit.
DC, RCB, and MI.
Oh, nice. That's a high scoring menu which might actually suit them. So 4 menus here, it shouldn't be too bad if they can manage to win 2 out of those 4 and then try to take that. The reason is Mulanpur wicket is not extremely batting friendly, nor it's very bowling friendly. It's somewhere thereabouts in the middle. The bounce is not very true. So yeah, I guess maybe they've got used to it now. They'll be a lot better from last year. So it's a good team. I like that team, and it's one team where you really don't need overseas players at all.
Yeah. However, with Punjab, when you look at their
Absolutely.
squad, like, do you feel like last season was some sort of overperformance? Like they outplayed their potential, their ability? Because if you just compare with other squads, like I wouldn't say the Indian contingent is probably as strong, right?
I wouldn't say that directly, Shiv, because I think they have a lot of youngsters. They have an approach. They have a good philosophy. They have some good mahol going, and I think they haven't changed anything from last year. So, yes, whether people plan for Priyancharya, people plan better for Shashank Singh, those things are we have to see. But they still have some reinforcements in Mitch Owen, and I think Ben Dwashius is here. Marco Janssen, I still haven't seen him yet. I don't think he's still come in yet. Rohit will know. Rohit would have gone to pick him up and stuff. So we don't know that yet. But uh, they have a good team, Shiv. I think they have a strong Indian contingent who Shreyas Iyer really backs. And I think one thing we have to speak about is his leadership. I don't know him personally. I'm sure Rohit, maybe when we come back to the end of the season, he'll have a better idea of the kind of person. I think a lot of people have said really good things about him. He's a good leader. He knows how to rally all the players. So again, looking forward to him. And remember one thing: he's not part of the Indian team. He's not part of the Indian setup. That must be really hurting, motivating. I really thought he was technically going to be the next captain, so of Team India. So let's see how that goes.
Absolutely. I think, Gaurav, there's another stat which I read which was shocking. The last time
I'm
Shreyas Iyer
shocked that you
played,
read a stat. But that's even more shocking.
last time Shreyas Iyer played a T20 game was the final against RCB.
Wow.
It's good.
Do what you have to do what you have to do with that stat. But then I was like, wow, I think he's all guns blazing. I see him in the hotel, eat hard, says hi to everybody. And like you said, I think he has that aura around him. I think also Ricky Ponting is also here, and his aura is completely unmatched. I feel like when he just walks, I feel like, bro, listen, I'm getting nightmares of 2003, 2004. So I don't even say anything. I just like to sit down and eat my breakfast. But all of them, the Josh in the dressing room at the moment has been great. You don't go much, but I can see it from the outside afar, and it looks great, man.
And quick question, now you spoke about breakfast. Do you still get your Americano? Have you found out your person to get your, what's that, cold espresso Americano correctly at 10 o'clock when Rohit walks into the restaurant, Shiv, that Rohit you've not seen before? You have entourages for Ricky Ponting, you have entourages for Abhishek Sharma, but Rohit Sharma's entourage is completely different. He comes in and he gets his espresso Americano, he gets his eggs. Wow.
What is this espresso
It's
Americano? I thought one karak chai will be coming, brother.
uh Shiv, because long nights and early mornings, I just have to put my hand up and the guys know my order. And Gaurav, it's the same, it's still the same. There are no changes.
Nice.
Give us some inside scoop though. What do you think the overseas combination is going to be for Punjab?
Bro, at this moment, I think obviously Marco hasn't come yet, so we're all waiting for Marco to come in. But I think Josh Inglis is a big miss. Obviously, Josh Inglis was keeping last year, but I think we have Prab Simran, a like-for-like replacement for Josh Inglis. But one of these Indian guys who's been playing well during training is Vishnu Vinod. He's been whacking that ball left, right, and center, and just the sound of that willow when the ball just goes, is great because the office is right opposite the middle pitch. And whenever he hits, I'm like, bro, is that Vishnu? And he's been whacking the ball. So I think it'll be interesting to see how he plays. But again, with respect to the overseas contingent, unfortunately, not been paying too much attention because, the workload's been massive. But then let's see, man. I think I'm hoping Gaurav can answer that question because,
I
you
think
know,
it's time we sent Rohit to Center of Excellence to manage his workload. Anyway, so I think Mitch Owen is here. I saw Mitch Owen, Xavier Bartlett in some shopping mall in Punjab. The video is doing the round. So I'm a big fan of Xavier Bartlett. I think he has some very good skills, very silent skills. I worked with him in the San Francisco Unicorns. So Rohit, you can just name drop me to him and he'll know me very well. He's a guy who bowls really good cutters. He's good with the new ball. So it'd be good to see if he can get a run of games. Omarzai, Stoinis, Mitch Owen, and Cooper Conley. So they have a bunch of really good all-rounders there. So I'm very curious to see who are the four overseas. Like I said, they don't need to play four overseas till Lockie comes back. My guess is again Rohit will maybe read the room better because he's actually seeing people there. I don't even know if Stein and Omarzai have arrived, but I feel it'd be Mitch Owen, kind of playing the English role which Rohit spoke about. Uh, Marco Janssen walks into the team. Stoinis would also play, and so it's that fourth spot. I think whether they play Bartlett for Lockie or Dwashius for some batting, or Dwashius is more like a replacement for Marco. These are things we'll know after the first game.
Right. I think we can quickly move on to arguably the Galacticos of the IPL, The team that's underperformed in the last few years, but probably the best team on paper, the Mumbai Indians. Probably also the most hated team, I don't know, in all of IPL. But do they start off as favorites, you think, Gaurav?
100%. I think I have them for winning the title. I think they're too good a team, Shiv, to not actually go and win it. They've had a very topsy-turvy IPL season. Let's just go back and see in 2020 they won, right? And then 21 they just didn't finish the top four, but 22 they finished, like once it became 10 teams, I think 22 they finished 10th, if I remember right, or 10th or ninth. 2023 they made the playoffs. 2024 they again finished 10th. 2025 they made the playoffs. So uh, it's it's very hard to read that. I think mostly, if at all, 2024, I think it was more the off-field and environmental issues. But last year they showed who they were. They, even though they started slowly, they came back. They're too strong, Shiv. And I really hope one thing that changes. Do you know? Let me pull out a stat to challenge Rohit. You know, they've not won the first game since 2012.
Wow.
So that's 13 years since they've not won the first game. So the first game is against KKR. I think it's a golden opportunity for them to kind of win that first game and start the season well. So I have Mumbai going all the way this time.
KKR is one of their favorite opponents also. I think their record against KKR is, unfortunately for me, one of their best. But I think with their overseas, would you rather play Rutherford, who they got in from Gujarat, or Jax? Like, who's a more shoe in that team?
It's a pretty good question, Shiv. Um, So when I did the analysis for Mumbai shift, so there are two kinds of 11s they can actually do. So one is a very bowling heavy 11 because of the strong Indian contingent. They can go with a heavy bowling 11, which actually allows them to play one of Rickleton and Quinton de Kock, and they can actually have a 11 which has Santner, Bolt, and Allah Gazanfar. Okay, this is a solid bowling lineup because they have a bunch of Indians. Although I don't think they will go that way. The other way is exactly what you said. They'll play Bolt and Santner and one of Quinton Rickleton. And based on how Namandir is coping up, or how that the sixth Indian is coping up, they can play either Shafin or Jacks based on conditions, based on opposition. If they want some off spin in the power play, like against SRH, you would see Jacks coming in
Right.
because they have three lefties at the top. So I think that's where they have that flexibility. And if they want, they can even like mix and match whenever they want. They can drop Santner, play Gazanfar. They have enough options. The beauty is Bolt and Gazanfar bowl in the power play. They can squeeze in overs of Jacks. So because Jacks can bowl those overs, I think they will just go with him ahead of Shafin.
Right. And also in terms of their batting, whose form is more important according to you? Surya, who had a good season last year, or Rohit Sharma?
I think both of them had amazing seasons. So a lot of times people get confused, guys. Because it's Rohit Sharma and because Kohli is scoring those 600, 700 runs, Shubman Gill is scoring 600 runs, Sai Sudarshan scoring 600 runs, people want volume. I think Rohit's role has changed. He comes in, he smashes first 20, 30 balls and then he gets out. So I think he scored at a good strike rate last year. I was just doing some analysis for Cricinfo about his first 10 balls and stuff. He's actually gone way ahead from last 2 years. So he's doing his role to perfection. When you have an amazing batting lineup like Mumbai's, you don't want to be sitting and wasting balls. So his high risk cricket, maybe he's not able to have that kind of control and score those volume. So I think both of them are doing amazingly well. Not one bit worried about their form. I think the key decision they have to take is who among Rickleton and Quinton de Kock actually start.
Also, Gaurav, I want to pick your brain on this. Obviously we've all spoken a lot about Jasprit Bumrah. What are your thoughts on him, Gaurav? I know he's one of the greatest at this moment for me and for Shiv. But what are your thoughts on this? Because obviously you can have a different mind to like gauge as to how he bowls and what he does. So just thought I'd pick your brain on that.
No, I think Bumrah is easily the world's best bowler right now. And the beauty of Bumrah is, I don't know if you go back to that, even that game against England in the World Cup semi-final when everything was on the line. Even though India had such a strong team, they almost, if not for Bumrah, that game could have gone against them. He bowls incredibly high amount of full tosses, low full tosses. But it's impossible to hit them, guys. The same thing if you bowl by some other bowler, I've seen those full tosses go outside. So even his full toss is not a bad ball. It's an amazing ball. So when you don't have any weakness, I think he's like I keep saying, he's a cheat code.
Absolutely. But going from the world's best bowler to the world's best batsman in the T20 format, I think we can go to your previous team, the Sunrisers Hyderabad, a team that underperformed last year, but again, team with such firepower. Do you think they'll have a better season this year, Gaurav?
For starters, I think one good thing is they've have a fixed philosophy over the last 3 years. I think 24, 25, 26. I think philosophy is the same. They want to do literally the same thing. Yes, I would say that even last year, I think the second half went really well. If the team had won at least one of the earlier games where the start was not good. The difference between 24 and 25 was literally the first 7 games we had reversed number of wins. So if you'd win one extra game here and there, I think the chances of qualification would have been higher. So they were not too far behind, I would say. And one thing which affected the team last year was the pitch preparation in terms of a lot of venues you never got good batting wickets because people knew that they're very strong in batting wickets. Even in Hyderabad, a couple of games were way slower than what we expected the pitch to be. So those were some challenges. If they can iron out that and try to win 5 out of 7 at home and play in that one pitch, which is like the most batting paradise. If they can do at least, play 3 games there and 2 games in good wickets, I think SRH have the batting. I think they're the best batting unit in the tournament, close with Mumbai. From a bowling perspective, is where I thought, they have all their challenges. Without Cummins, they have taken David Payne. He really helps fill that gap. He can bowl both in the power play and death, which I thought was their biggest challenge is power play bowling. Without Cummins, because Ishan Malinga is a death specialist, Harshal Patel is a death specialist, and Bryden Khas coming in. I don't think he's someone whom batters will be like super scared of, or trying to get those wickets. So that's where I thought David Payne's addition is a good one. We'll have to see again how he comes and delivers immediately in those tough conditions. His first IPL. He's a good bowler, no doubt about it. And how he sits in the combination. So if he and Malinga can play along with their new spinners, and that allows them to let go of Liam Livingston, who they bought for 13 crores, and they back their Indian batters. They have some really good youngsters in Aniket and Salil and Shivang. So then this team will be definitely heading into that playoffs. But if they don't get that power play bowling right early on, then I have my small worries. But I'm sure Rohit will agree. 3 of those batsmen, if they get going, are winning 3 or 4 games. So
Also, I think when we speak about the pitch, right, in Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium, I've had this funny conversation with the curator there. His name is Chandru. So this one time we hit 267 or 278. So I asked him, how's the pitch? He's like, it's a slow turner and a good off spin and leg spin available. Abhishek Sharma has whacked every ball. The ball, it was a proper road, bro. It was a Rawalpindi Express. And then after the game, I looked at him. He's like, I told you. I was like, Chandru, my man, what have you done? So
Just looking up.
unfortunately, even I don't know if I can say this, but even the curator doesn't know what which is coming there.
Surprise curation.
But yeah, dude. But moving on, actually, Shiv, I'd like to go or move on to Shiv's team, which I think is the weakest so far. Gaurav, any guesses?
KKR.
R.
Shiv told me he's like a hardcore Shah Rukh fan, and he breathes. He said his alter ego is called Rahul.
You know what Shiv did? Shiva's met Kavya Maran and he's gone and told her you're the second best owner. She was like, who's number one? He said, Shah Rukh Khan, I have died.
As I spread my arms up, I mean, I was just speaking from the
Nice.
heart. What can I say?
Oh
But
my
yeah, I
God,
think
that was
we can call this team the Wellington Knight Riders also this year with the amount of New Zealand boys we've got. And I think this team has unfortunately got cursed before the tournament has even started with, of course, with what happened with Mustafizur, then Pati Rana getting injured, Harshit Rana getting injured. I can't figure out this bowling combination. What do you think it's going to be, Gaurav?
Yeah, I think that's unfortunate. They had came with a really good plan with Patirana and Fizz kind of alternating, I guess, 7 matches each, and then your death bowling is sorted. You had Vaibhav and Harshit to take care of others. Varun, Naren. It was potentially the best bowling attack in the tournament, and now it's kind of become a bit weak. So there are two things which will work for them, Shiv. I think one is they have to, which again is very difficult, if they can make their wickets a lot spin friendly. They have some good players of spin, and you have Arun Naren and Anukul Roy. I think that kind of brings the game much closer in terms of bowling. When the pitches are not like batting fests. But how they would end up going is, I think Vaibhav will take the new ball. Blessing Muzarabani will take the new ball. You have Varun and Naren. I think Anukul Roy will fit somewhere in as the third spinner, and they have to play one of those new guys. I actually rate that Saurabh Dubey, who they've taken as a replacement. He's a good bowler. And they have Kartik Tyagi and Umran Malik. From whatever I saw in the practice matches, I don't see Umran Malik starting, but Kartik Tyagi has been doing well, so he could be that third bowler, which basically compresses, and you have Cam Green bowling a few overs. So this is how they're going to stack up Shiv initially, and Abhishek Nair. I think he's the guy. The only way KKR kind of going to upset, or not, I won't call it upset. Kind of going, the bowling is going to come really good is Abhishek Nair, because he knows how to get the best out of these players. He's been really successful wherever he's gone, and I think I'm very curious to see how that pans out. I think they've taken if you see their coaching staff, Shiv, like you rightly said, you have Watson and Southey to kind of handle and take care of your Finn Allens of the world, Seiferts of the world, Cam Greens of the world. And then you have Abhishek Nair, who can fully focus all his effort on the Indian guys and, try to get the best out of him. I expect Ankush Raghuvanshi to play a big role this year. I think he was severely underutilized last couple of seasons.
Yeah, like you said, I think the pitch will play a lot of a role, and they've had issues with their curator there also in previous seasons. So hopefully they can create that spin turner, and then you have a Rachin Ravindra also. If you're creating that turner, then you have that extra option. I don't know if they'll play him a lot, because it seems like Finn Allen will definitely play, and then the rest sort of pick themselves. But yeah, a lot of it will depend on that pitch. Maybe they can. And of course, the form of Varun and Sunil Narayan. Do you think Sunil will open the innings, or he'll go back to playing
I think
at
he'll go
9
back
and 10?
down the order unless, yeah, I think he'll go back down the order.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very confident of Kolkata this year, but we shall see what happens. We can quickly go
But
on to
my
another
point
team.
with Naren Shiv is that he's actually wasted down the order. So in a way that the challenge KKR have is Rahane has amazing power play numbers. If Naren can, whatever happens, Naren has to bat 2 overs, 3 overs, make an impact. And then if he gets out at that point, Rahane comes in, he can still capitalize. But if Naren bats 5 overs, obviously KKR are doing well, then Rahane generally will be kind of pushed down the order. So maybe that's worth a try, giving Narayan and Finn Allen, because that worked for them in 2024. So don't rule that option out now, thinking about it.
Yeah, and he doesn't waste too many balls also. He comes in, it's either you get out in 2 or 3 balls, or you get us off to a flyer.
I
So, I mean,
agree.
will be interesting to see which strategy they go with. But let's move on to the Rajasthan Royals, who also had a big trade, of course, losing out on Sanju, but they got Ravindra Jadeja and Sam Curran. Who do you think has gotten out better with that deal overall?
I think with Sam Kerr not coming, I think Sanju Samson has got it. But the best trade in this whole IPL is between Punjab and SRH. Rohit moving from SRH to Punjab.
Steal deal.
Thanks, Gaurav. Thank you so much, Gaurav. You made my day today. I think instead of the iced Americano, I think I deserve a cappuccino.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
kidding. But yeah, Sanju Samson is, I think they got the better deal now that Sam Curran was not coming, because Sam Curran actually balances that team very well. He can come in at bat, take on spin at number 4, number 5. But I like Rajasthan. I like the team they have. I'm only a bit skeptical about their bowling. I think their top 7 are really good. Even last year with a slightly not great bowling attack, they literally lost 5 matches while chasing, which they should have won. So
Yeah.
I think they're good. Vaibhav, Jaiswal. Number 3 would be Dhruv Jurel. Number 4, Ian Parag. Number 5, Shimon Hetmeyer. Number 6, Donovan Ferreira. Number 7, Ravindra Jadeja. That's an amazing top 7,
Wow.
guys. I
Right.
don't think people are really talking too much about Rajasthan. They are top. The problem starts at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They'll play Ravi Bishnoi. They'll play Jofra Archer. They will play Nandre Berger. And they will play Tushar Deshpande and Sandeep Sharma. So that's how they will line up. I think it's a good team. Their batting, I'm really excited about their batting. And if the bowling comes good, they might be the dark horses to go all the way.
I agree with you totally. But one cause of concern, do you think Riyan Parag is the best choice for captain in that team?
What would have you done? Like, who are the other options?
Jaiswal, maybe Jaddu, but I don't know if you're going to give Jaddu a new player who's coming in, that captaincy choice. I guess Riyan Parag is the loyalty choice, but I've always sort of
Yeah.
questioned his temperament sometimes. I felt like in certain seasons, certain moments, he puts himself ahead of the team. I don't know if you agree with that.
It's hard to say these things from outside because it's a very perception thing which we see on TV and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure about that. I think they've just gone with continuity and like you said, Rian has done it before. Let's just give him a fair go.
Yeah, but I think just from a PR standpoint, also, I thought Yashasvi would have been the better choice. Obviously, he looks like the face of the Indian cricket after Shubman Gill. He looks like the only all-format player after Shubman Gill. So it was surprising to see Rajasthan take the Riyan Parag route. But again, like you said, Gaurav, I think he's been there, done that. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just go ahead with what's already there. So that's my 2 cents on the Riyan Parag decision.
Right. And wait, early prediction, is Vaibhav going to win that orange cap?
See, I
With
think I
all the
think with
hype.
Vaibhav, what I've noticed is I watched the
He
under
plays
19
high
World
risk
Cup.
cricket. It's
Go on,
hard
go
to
on.
get the orange cap.
I was just gonna say that I watched the under 19 World Cup, watched a couple of games there, and I just thought, like obviously he goes all guns blazing from minute one, and there are times where obviously it's the IPL, right? It's the best cricket league in the world, so the bowlers will have a plan, the coaches will have a plan against him. So I don't see him getting that orange cap, but definitely see him scoring runs this year. At least 390 is my guess for the year.
90, very specific. But Karak, we can move on to another team that's a fairly new team that has won the IPL, been fairly consistent at the top, but not the best of seasons last year, which is GT. Again, a very top-heavy team. And do you think their success will sort of be based around Joss Butler having a good season?
See, with GT, it's been very, very. I think I always got it wrong. I thought they had like a very poor option in 2022 and they actually won the title. Then they were managed to replicate that in 2023. And then last year, like they literally didn't have a middle order, but they still made the playoffs because Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill just literally won every game on their own. Um, they are a class team. I don't think anybody should write them off. I think Butler, even if he doesn't hit, they have Holder and Phillips. They all punch above their weight. They know how to run a team and they've done a really good job. I still don't have them in my final four like every year, but they always prove me wrong. Yeah, Butler's form is important, but I think they know they know what they're doing.
Right.
Gaurav, do
All
you think Rabada starts? Because obviously you have Holder in there, you have Phillips walks in, and you have Rashid Khan.
So I
So do
think
you
Butler and Rashid walk in, Rohit. I think Phillips,
exactly?
Holder, and Rabada will be based on form. I think if at all somebody has to be dropped among those three, I think Holder will play because of the balance he brings in with bat and ball. So that leaves you with Phillips and KG. I think they will start with the Indian fast bowlers, play Phillips, see how it goes. If the Indian quicks don't do well, they'll get in KG.
right. I think their entire season will depend on that top three because I don't see much in the middle order. I mean, beyond Joss, Shubman, and Sai Sudarshan, then you have a Shah Rukh Khan and like, they have, what's his name? The guy who used to come and tonk
Tiwari,
at number 7,
yeah.
Tewatia. Tewatia. So I don't see too much there. I think Holder becomes important there, like because he can do a bit with the bat, but it'll be interesting to see if they go with him. Is Rashid Khan's form a concern?
Yeah, he's not the same as before. I won't say form, but I still think he has quality. But people are not really. There's no fear factor anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Gujarat is an interesting one. They've been consistent so far since they've been in the IPL. But the other new boys, Lucknow Super Giants, I think they had a shocker of a season last year. How important is Punt to that team? Is it like if Punt has a good season, they have a good season, or is it beyond that?
I think it's bowling again, Shiv. I think their batting is strong. I think Markham and Marsh kind of proved everybody wrong. Like, I didn't expect them to have the kind of season they had. They single-handedly won 3-4 games by themselves. In fact, they beat Gujarat in Ahmedabad, if I remember right. Those were all good wins. And even in Hyderabad, like, we scored 196 and they chased it in like 15 overs. So they have some great potential in batting. I have no doubt about it. Again, it boils down to bowling. I think I draw a lot of parallels between SRH and LSG. A lot of coaching staff has also moved there. And generally, I feel like both have really good batting lineups. Whether Mayank Yadav is fit, Moshin Khan is fit, Hasaranga, does he turn up? Anik Nokia is injury prone. So a lot of these factors are there. But one thing I can tell you, they've got Tom Moody. He's had a lot of success of late in all the leagues he's gone to. So I think he will know how to kind of run this team. And that's something which is in their favor.
Right.
Also, when you speak about Tom Moody, Gaurav, I remember, I think last season, during the IPL, he mentioned that he'd like to play Rishabh Pant, like opening, he'd like to start Rishabh Pant by playing him up the order. Do you think he'll do that this year? Because he has the reins to the LSG side
Uh,
of things?
I know he said that, and he said it in Cricket for Show only. I remember that.
Correct.
But Rohit, would you kind of separate Marsh and Markram, who have done such a good job last year? I wouldn't do that, but maybe Pant at 3, Puran at 4 could be something which they could try.
Yeah. And with regards to the bowling, you said there's slight concerns over there, but they have a lot of Indian bowling options, especially in terms of their pacers. You've got Mayank Yadav, who came onto the scene and, surprised everyone. Then you've got, I think Shami's in their team, right, this season. Then you have Mohsin Khan, you have Avesh Khan. But who do you think will be their starting choices?
I think Shami, Mayank, and Avesh should be the starting choices, ideally. If Mayank's not fit, then Moshin's not fit, then they have Prince Yadav, who did really well for them last year as well. So they have a lot of options. Again, it's whether they put their best 11 in the park, and all of them are doing well. I think Lucknow have a very good team. Um, yeah, I just don't have the information of their bowling attack. So if I know about the injuries and stuff, if they play their best 11, I think it's very hard to say whether they'll not qualify or not. And you know how it is, right? You can't, it's so hard this tournament that always you have teams 4, 5, and 6 or 7 finishing at 14 and losing out on net and 8. So that doesn't mean that team is weak. So in IPL, it's one of the hardest leagues. It's so hard to predict. Like Lucknow can just come and blow out teams if they want to. So I think it's going to be very, very tightly contested.
Right. And finally, on to another team which has been there since the inception but is yet to win an IPL, the Delhi Capitals, previously known as the Delhi Daredevils. Are we going to see the resurgence of Prithvi Shaw, who's been apparently decent in domestic cricket recently?
A lot of people claim that he should start. I'm very curious to see if they do that. They have KL Rahul and Nisanka as an option. But if they do Shaw, it allows them to kind of strengthen their bowling a little bit. They can play Lungi Ngidi and Chamira and Stark whenever they come back, with Miller and Stubbs taking care of the middle overs. So I think it'll boil down to Abhishek Porel or Prithvi Shaw and see how they go. If they want to improve upon from last time, I would start with KL and Shaw, or KL and Nisanka. But if they're happy with Abhishek and they want continuity, that's the way they'll go. But that gives them flexibility.
Gaurav, do you think from the bowling side of things, they have the Ranji man of the series, Akib Nabi. Do you think he plays an important role for Delhi Capitals?
Yeah, they've invested a lot of money. I think all of us are curious to see how he does in white ball in Arun Jaitley Stadium with dew and stuff like that. That's not something he's used to, but everybody's seen him. He has amazing skill, and he can bat. So I think they'll give him a fair go and see how he goes about.
And do you see them as contenders overall to make that top 4? Quite a balanced squad, I'd say. Do you see them as contenders?
I agree with you. Very balanced, and I have them in my final 4.
I think
Okay.
we can just go on to that topic. Gaurav, what's your top 4, Gaurav?
Why don't you go first? I want to
I'll go
see.
first.
I want to see if you're keeping your badge close to your chest.
No, mine would be MI. I'd say MI, I'd say Punjab Kings because I
I
think they
knew
have
that.
a
I knew that.
phenomenal,
I knew
phenomenal
that.
team
That's
this
why I
year.
was testing you.
I'm going to
Yeah.
do MI for sure, BBKS. I'm going to do Lucknow because I feel like if, they have Bharatan also in their coaching stuff, and if he has to get Shami to bowl the way he has to bowl, there's only one man there who can get him to bowl like the way he has to bowl. And then I'm going to give a sneaky look to RCB because I think they'll do well. And it's the last year of the ownership anyway because they've been sold. So yeah, so MI, Punjab, LSG, and RCB.
How much did you get out of the RCB sale?
Shiv, your
Uh,
turn, Shiv. Your turn, Shivi.
I am going to stick with IPL heritage. I think I have Mumbai, Chennai, RCB, and Sunrisers going through.
nice. I have MI, Delhi, Punjab, and RCB.
Wow.
So not
We
bad.
got to come back
Close.
to this at the end. Yeah, we've got two commonalities, which is Mumbai and RCB, but the other two have switched amongst us. What about orange cap and purple cap?
And finally, Shubman Gill will be lifting the trophy and we'll be like, again, we messed up with GT. We messed up with GT, guys. That's what we're
Yeah.
going to do. GT is on weird team.
Yeah, now the curse
Right.
of Narendra Modi Stadium is also lifted. So, but what about purple cap, orange cap, Gaurav? What do you think?
Let's go with Jaiswal for orange cap. And purple cap would be Noor,
No, you fucking said.
Marco
My
Jansen, and Shreyas.
Shreyas.
I am It's so predictable. I'm sure
no,
Shreyas Iyer. Tell it, Shreyas
my
Iyer.
my purple cap is my old man is Ishan Kishan, and my no sorry my orange cap.
Whether Ishan Kishan start bowling.
my orange cap is Ishan Kishan, and my purple cap is Yuzvendra Chahal.
Wow, some Punjabi had to add in. I think, yeah, Yuzvendra Chahal might get a lot of wickets, but we'll see him going for 45, 50 runs in every game. I think orange cap, I'm going to go for Chetta, Sanju Samson, just the form he's come in with. I think he's going to enjoy
Nice.
playing in Chennai. Also, as you said, that pitch has become a road. Purple cap, I'm going to go for tried and trusted Jasprit Bumrah. I just feel like
Nice.
it's hard to look beyond. And final prediction. Just pick champions from your top four.
MI for me.
Karak? What's the tagline?
Bus jeetna hai.
Okay. And I will go for, I think I'll also go for Mumbai Indians. I think 5 years on the bounce, not winning, they'll have that extra hunger also.
Let's have a MI CSK final for old time's sake.
No, it's the
Derby.
worst final. I never want to see that final. For me, those are the two most hated teams just because of how much they won and how much they've dominated that league. But Gaurav, been a pleasure having you on again. Hopefully, we'll get you on maybe mid-season or towards the end of the season to preview
Sure.
the playoffs again. But it's been a fun one.
Shiv, before you close this, Gaurav, can you just explain? Can you just tell Shiv how to pronounce Cheta? Because he's been butchering the word since Sanju has a that.
Cheta with a T.
Okay.
So it's not
I know,
Cheta,
I've been saying
Shiv. It's... oh my God.
Just get Gemini to teach you.
Karak has had so many opportunities to teach me, but only now he's brought it up. But it's okay.
because
Like I
I
used
thought
to say
you'll-
Thala.
you should say Tala instead of Tala.
On that note,
I'm kidding.
Gaurav,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. And that has been episode 29 of the Clutch Report. And we will see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.